I'm live. Hey, what's up? I'm Durbin, and you are checking out Durbania. So you probably see in the title there, this is me going live. Ask me anything. And I'm going live just to say a huge thank you. Over the weekend, I reached 6,000 subs. So I just want to say a huge thank you to every single one of my new subscribers that just kind of came in like a flood and brought me over that 6,000 mark. I want to say a huge thank you to the creator of The Chosen, Dallas Jenkins. Like, number one, that's a good show, but they shared my review for the show, The Chosen, and that got me a whole bunch of new subscribers. So I want to be sure to let them know that I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And everybody that jumped on board and is now a subscriber to Durbania, I want to say thank you. And to all of you who have been subscribed for a while and have just been around and watching my videos, thank you all so much. Every single one of you, all of my subscribers, you guys mean so much to me. I love how much you guys like to interact. I love the comments in the comment section. I love you guys are the best subscribers. Thank you all so much for subscribing to this channel. And I got so many other YouTube channels to thank that I'm afraid if I start naming them, I'll forget some. But man, there's been so many YouTube people I've been collabing with recently that I've collabed with in the past. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all the YouTube community. Like, seriously, the movie review YouTube community is just like an awesome community. And I really enjoy being a part of it. So, right now, I would like to open this up. So, ask me anything. This is just kind of our chance to hang out. This is probably the earliest in the day I've actually gone live, kind of checking it out on my phone here just to make sure that no matter what, I don't miss out on your questions because my lovely wife is an essential worker. So she has to work right now. And so I just want to make sure I have these comments up in front of me. And so that whoever is asking me a question, I'm there to answer. So we are open to the question and answer portion right now. Ask anything you wish. I will do my best to answer it. So I see there's a couple people in here right now. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing good. Can you hear me okay? So just double checking that all of that is working out pretty good. So again, I want to say a huge thank you. A huge thank you to each and every single one of you who have subscribed to my channel and helped put me over 6,000 subs. Go time now. Hello. I'm glad you're good. And is that good a reference to you can hear me just fine? I'm hoping that you can. So, yes, thank you, Brian, so much for joining in. I can hear. Excellent. Hey, my laptop is fixed. The last time I went live, my laptop broke. You guys remember that if you were here, right? And so I had to do it on my phone, and the microphone on the phone was covered up by the thing that was holding the phone up. And then I tried to pull it out, and the phone fell. It was a fantastic time, but my laptop is fixed. And I'm so happy about that, to be able to actually sit here and talk with you on my computer. That just feels so infinitely better. So, hello, Falcon B. Hello, Dorito Chip Gamer. I love that name, Dorito Chip Gamer. Go time now. Congratulations on 6K. I can hear perfectly fine. Thank you, Go time now, and thank you for that. Congratulations. Driscoll Brothers, what's going on is a live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me in the stream. Thank you so much for being subscribers. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for that thumb up. I really, really appreciate that. So, ask me anything. Let's get this show on the road. What do you want to know? Let's hang out. Let's get to know each other here. And as I drop my phone, but hey, this time it doesn't matter because I'm not recording on my phone. Oh, I could drop my phone all I want this time. That makes me feel so much better. So, what do we got, guys? What's going on? So, one of the things I'm editing the Silver Chair. If you read the Chronicles of Narnia, I'm on book 4, just finished it, and now I'm editing that review. So I'm super excited to present that to you. It's going to be a long one, like over a half hour long, but I don't care. It's so fun talking about Narnia, and it's been fun like having Narnia fans join me in that conversation. Thank you guys so much for those other thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. So I want to let you know that's coming, and it's probably coming this week unless, something really kind of interferes with my editing process. But that's coming here real soon, a review of The Silver Chair from the Chronicles of Narnia. And let's see, Driscoll Brothers. So I hear you think Pulp Fiction is overrated. Yes, Driscoll Brothers. I kind of do think that Pulp Fiction is overrated. Thank you for listening to that podcast that I did with Ryan O'Toole over on his channel. He's got a great new podcast. You guys should definitely check that out. I had the honor of being their first guest. And yeah, Tarantino is not my favorite because I like story driven films instead of character driven films and dialogue driven films. Go Time Now says, how many books of Narnia are there? There are 7. So I'm on the silver chair, which is book 6. I am in the middle of editing that. So book 6 review is coming out real soon. And then I'm going to be reviewing book 7. So I got to reread that and do that. Seth Draven, hey, Durbin. Can't stick around for long, but I figured I'd stop by real quick and say hi. Seth, thank you. Seth has been a subscriber for a super long time. So, Seth, thank you so much for subscribing for as long as you have. So, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. He's also the son of my friend Steve over at the channel Film Trigger. So, let me just give Film Trigger a shout out. He just put out a review for Superman Returns, which was a really good review for that. He's been doing a Batman Superman series building up to Batman vs. Superman. So, definitely worth checking out. Hello, Pinkie Pie Cupcake Double or 777. So thank you so much for that. Congratulations. I am super happy to be over 6,000 subs. Nicole Lovecraft, one of my new friends and patrons. So thank you, Nicole, for joining me in this. Hello from me and all the hedgies. She's got a bunch of hedgehogs. She calls herself the crazy hedgehog lady. She's super cool. If you could spend a long weekend vacationing in any fictional verse, which would you choose? Marvel verse from me, of course. Oh, that's hard. Any fictional verse. I don't know. Like honestly, there's a part of me that wants to pick the Star Trek verse because replicators, okay? It can replicate any meal. Like I love my superheroes, and if I had to pick of that, the DC universe, just because like I want to meet Superman and get his autograph. But if I could live in any verse, I want to live in the Star Trek verse with that technology. And instead of a microwave in my house, have a replicator in my house, be able to teleport places and have no traffic. That would be the verse that I would absolutely love to live in. Driscoll Brothers, it was a great podcast. I loved when you talked about the sequel trilogy. That's what we talked about when Ryan O'Toole had me as a guest on his podcast, is the sequel trilogy. And that was a lot of fun to get into. I mean, various opinions about the sequel trilogy, but we had a lot of fun talking about it. Go Time Now says, who is your favorite director and what's your favorite movie from them? Oh, gosh. That's really, really hard. I have a lot of I mean, Steven Spielberg's one of my favorites, but that's because Jurassic Park is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. So I can answer it that way. Um, oh man, I do like Peter Jackson because the Lord of the Rings trilogy is probably one of my favorite trilogies of all time. That's really, really hard. There's a lot of talented directors out there. But yeah, I'll go with those top 2 that I named right there. I love Spielberg, I love Peter Jackson, and I love them from movies like Jurassic Park and Lord of the Rings. I just think that kind of stuff is absolutely fantastic. Dark Side Reviews. Congrats, man. Thank you, Dark Side Reviews, for joining. Check out his channel, Dark Side Reviews. He just did an awesome interview, and I forget the guy's name. So, Darkside, put that down here in the comments who you just interviewed because that's incredible. Like, that was really cool what he got to do. And he did this really awesome live stream. So, make sure you head over to his channel and check that out for sure. I love Al. He's got a great channel over there. Levi says, congrats on the milestone. Thank you so much, Levi. And thank you so much for joining me here. Thank you, Seth, also for that. Congratulations. Falcon B, are you going to do a collab with Colin from the Falling from Film podcast? Colin and I have been going back and forth on a collab idea. So, yes, we are going to be doing a collab, me and Colin, who is the co host on Ryan O'Toole's podcast. So, we're working on that right now. We tossed out a couple of ideas. We're refining that right now. So, keep your eyes open because that should be coming. Let's see. Mary Smith, hi, can't stay long. Essential employee, need to leave soon. Congratulations. Thank you, Mary Smith. And hey, you're an essential employee. Thank you for working hard during this crazy, insane time that we live in. Thank you so much, Mary Smith. Let's see here. Driscoll Brothers, thoughts on the Dune photos they put out. I think the Dune photos look good. I haven't seen I've seen a few of them, and I think they look good. I like the 1984 movie Dune that came out. I think it's weird. It is so weird. And the Sci-Fi Channel did like a really good job remaking that movie and doing the Children of Dune and stuff. So like I thought that was a really cool miniseries. I tried to read the book and I only got about 100 pages in and I couldn't go any further. It is a very good story. I think the pictures of the new Dune movie look really cool, and I'm very interested to see that movie. And those pictures only kind of help get me more interested. Plus, they look very similar to certain shots from the 1984 movie, so I'm very curious and different enough at the same time. So I'm very curious to see that. Let's see. Dune photos, Supreme Comics Girl. Congrats on 6K. Thank you so much, Supreme Comics Girl. I really appreciate that. Let's see. Damien. Oh my gosh. Damien Scott. I think I'm saying your name wrong and I apologize. What's up, Durbin? Congratulations. Thank you so much. Go time now. What do you feel about BVS and what do you feel about BVS now? How you felt versus when it came out? That's a good question, man, because it's amazing how sometimes when a movie comes out, you have your initial opinion and then everybody else's opinions can kind of affect your thinking. When it first came out, I wasn't in love with it, but I didn't hate it. And then I saw it a second time and I liked it a little bit more. But then when I saw the director's cut, the ultimate edition on Blu-ray, I kind of went, "What on earth? Why wasn't this the version released on the big screen?" So that was way better and gave me a far better experience. So I think as time has settled, I do think Batman vs Superman is a good movie. I like Ben Affleck Batman. I like the older Batman. So I think all of that was good. I like the Batman Superman relationship. I like their fight, even though it was only 11 minutes long or however short it was. Like, I mean, I like that stuff. It just felt it overall had that feeling of being rushed. And I wish in the marketing they didn't show us Doomsday or Wonder Woman. I would have loved for Wonder Woman to have been a total surprise. But as time has passed, I like the film. I appreciate that it was different than Marvel and it felt different than Marvel going in a different direction. I just wish that Superman wasn't killed in that movie. I wish it wasn't the second movie where he died. I wish we got at least one Batman movie before this or one Superman movie before this. So that's kind of where I am on that. But as a whole, I like it. And as time has settled, I like it. It's just not my favorite. I recognize the potential and yeah. Dark Side, LOL. It was Daniel Wu of Into the Badlands. Thank you so much, Al. I need to watch Into the Badlands. I've only seen the first episode, and that's why the title of the show and the actor totally slipped my mind. But Al did a great interview with Daniel Wu, and I think you definitely should head over there and check it out, especially if you're a fan of Into the Badlands. Chandler Langley, only 4K more until 10K. Congrats, man. Thank you so much, Chandler. I really appreciate that. Chandler's a really good friend and been a really cool dude to collab with and stuff. So thank you so much, Chandler, for subscribing and being around. He has a great channel that you should definitely check out. Levi Clements, could you do a theological review of the Tron Legacy? I should. I watched that movie right when I got Disney Plus, and it's pretty good. I watched the first one and the second one back to back. It's interesting to watch those two movies back to back. So yeah, I bet you I could probably get that in the works here pretty soon. Dark Side Reviews, how are you feeling about the Lord of the Rings Amazon series? Are you excited for it? Kind of out of sight, out of mind for me, Al. Like, I know it's coming and I've heard it's coming. I just haven't seen too much about it. I know they set up an office in Auckland, New Zealand, and that encourages me that it's in New Zealand. I kind of just want to hear a little bit more. I want to hear a little bit more about the angle that they're taking. I'm not opposed to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's gonna be hard for us to not compare it to the original trilogy, which is just absolutely incredible. But I am looking forward to seeing what Amazon is going to do with it. And the fact that it's a series, they're going to be able to add so much more detail from Tolkien. So I'm looking forward to the angle they're going to take, what they're going to add, what's going to be the same, what's going to be different. And if it's in New Zealand, which I mean, I don't know where else you could shoot it. I mean, come on, that's like the standard now. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they do with it, but I would like to hear just a little bit more. Anna Paula says, "Do you review books and short stories too?" Well, I do review books, and I do have a playlist of book reviews. I've been going through recently and reviewing all of the Narnia books. I've done two of the three books from C.S. Lewis and the Space Trilogy. I've done the Jurassic Park novels, and yeah, one or two other novels in there. So I am doing book reviews. My focus is movies, but I could do some more book reviews. And if there's a good short story you'd like me to review, you could definitely leave me that request, and I'll definitely check it out. Driscoll Brothers just rewatched Blade Runner 2049. Such a good movie. You know, I was back and forth on that movie. I liked it, but it felt really long. But I loved the music. Oh my gosh, the music in that movie, like the musical score and the soundtrack was incredible. I think I need to watch it again and get it fresh in my mind. And I only have seen the theatrical cut of Blade Runner with the comical voiceover from Harrison Ford. So I would like to try one of the other cuts of the original one and then go back and watch the sequel. It's been a while. I watched it when it first came out. I put a review up. It's been a while, so it's not fresh in my head right now. Go time now. Do you like or at least appreciate Michael Bay as a director? And what do you think of the Bayverse Transformer films? I think I appreciate anybody that puts themselves out there as a director of a movie. It takes a lot. I mean, everything you do, especially something like Transformers, big recognizable franchises that were beloved in people's childhoods, that stuff is always going to be a risk. And so I do appreciate anybody that's a director. There's a lot of things that Bay does that I don't like. There's a lot of things that Bay does that I do like. The first Transformers movie I like. I don't love it, but I like the first Transformers movie. And I like Transformers 2 until the weird ending when Shia LaBeouf dies temporarily and goes to Transformer heaven and then comes back. And then you have what's his face? I'm doing bad with names today. But Optimus Prime, how could I forget that name? And he puts on like all that cool stuff from the Transformer that gave his life, and then he just throws it all off after he does the last battle fight in like 2 seconds. It's ridiculous. It makes me angry. And so after the ending of Transformers 2, I'm lost. Like I'm totally lost. There's still aspects that I like about some of them, but as a whole, I'm not a huge fan of it. First Transformers was okay. All right, hold on. Let me scroll out just a little bit here and make sure that I'm not going to miss anybody here. Let's see. Amazon series, talked about that. Transformer films. Did you pick up the Star Wars Skywalker box set collection? No, I did not, because that is pretty darn expensive. And I have all of the films. I just don't have them, in one gigantic box set. So I haven't picked that up, though the picture of that box set does look pretty cool. Let's see. What else do we got here? Falcon B says, "What do you think is a better movie, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, or Prince Caspian?" Probably The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Prince Caspian was a huge, huge departure from the book. What I respect, though, about the movie Prince Caspian is it still kept the Christian message strong, because what you have in the movie is Peter being too proud, thinking that he's coming back to Narnia to be a king, forgetting who made him king in the first place. And so it's interesting the way it deals with Peter's pride and the consequences of his pride and how kind of humble Caspian is. So there's a lot of aspects about Prince Caspian, the movie, that I think are all right and that I enjoy. If I had to be honest, I would have preferred that they stuck closer to what C.S. Lewis wrote on the page. I kind of get that they wanted to make it more action packed and more attractive and kind of fit what, like Lord of the Rings and stuff. I get it. I do. But I wish they would have stuck closer to the book. But it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. Let's see. Damian Scott. I watched Dead to Me on Netflix for the first time. Have you seen this show? It's really mind blowing. I awaited season 2. No, I have not. But thank you for that tip, because now I will have to go and check that out. I passed it. I passed it. I passed it. Give me a second. I saw the question. What is your favorite DC movie? I'd like to give you credit. I just didn't see your name because I scrolled past it too fast. My favorite DC movie, though, is definitely Man of Steel. Very close second, Wonder Woman. I just, Superman is my favorite superhero. So there is definitely bias in that answer. And I get it. And I don't even apologize for it. I love Superman. I think Man of Steel is a terrific modern Superman story. So thank you so much, Vincent Smith, for that question. And Vincent Smith also says, best MCU movie. That's really hard. Actually, no, it's not. It's Endgame. I mean, come on, 11 years of buildup, and for me, it just paid off. It was brilliant. They took all those ties and they brought it together. Chandler Langley, I deleted my channel. Sorry about that. LOL. Did you really? Ooh, well, that's sad, man. He had a great channel. But hey, we're still friends, and that works out nice. All right, let's see. Dark Side reviews. I'm excited. I think we can go deep into the Lord of the Rings lore. Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie franchise of all time, and fantasy, my favorite genre. I agree, man. I love the fantasy genre, and I will be very curious to see how deep they go in the Amazon Lord of the Rings series. So I do hope they take advantage of the fact that it's a series and really like Tom Bombadil. Like, I get why he's not in the movie, because it's already 3 hours long, almost four with the extended editions. And so, you don't need to throw Tom Bombadil in there, but it'd be fun in a show where you actually got time to cover that stuff. So there's things that I think would be very cool and very interesting and worth covering in a show. Let's see. Go time now. Did you watch the Triple X trilogy with Vin Diesel? It's an action movie trilogy. Yeah, I watched Triple X when it first came out, and I liked it. And then I watched the second one. It was all right, and I never saw the third one. because at that point, I just didn't care. It's a good series. I think they're fun, mindless action movies. I just wasn't interested enough to finish off the trilogy, and I haven't seen the first 2 in a long time. So again, they're not fresh, but it'll be worth going back, especially as we're kind of all quarantined. Hey, 10 likes. Thank you guys so much for giving me 10 thumbs up on this. I really appreciate that. It's fun hanging out with you, getting your questions, and getting to know you. Vincent Smith, Us was overrated. And what's up with all the rabbits? What's Us? Let's see. Frank Perez, what are your most nostalgic movies? Jurassic Park. Had a great experience seeing that with my dad and a hilarious story building up to finally getting to see the whole movie, mostly because I was 9 and my sister was 4, and she freaked out when the T Rex ate the dude off the toilet. And it took forever for me to get my parents to take me back to go see Jurassic Park. So that's probably one of my favorite ones. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1990 was probably one of the movies I was the most excited for, like just to see my Ninja Turtles in live action. I could not wait. And 1989 Batman. I remember being a kid and that one coming out, and oh my gosh, how excited I was to see that version, a darker version of Batman. Like as a kid, I was like, yeah, the grown up Batman. Like I thought that was so cool. So those are some of my favorite childhood nostalgic movies. Driscoll Brothers, what do you think the most underrated Christopher Nolan movie is? I find Momentum to be really underrated. Memento to be really underrated. I like Memento. I haven't seen that in a very, very long time, but I would probably agree with you on that. I think it's a movie that could be talked about more because it really is interesting. Starting backwards, like at the end and moving to the beginning, like, yeah, it is an incredibly unique way to do a movie and tell a story. So if you haven't seen that movie, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a really good Christopher Nolan movie. Vincent Smith, your favorite James Bond movie? I'm not like the biggest James Bond person, but I would say Casino Royale. I just like that one. A lot of good action in that, and I like our current James Bond. Let's see here. Theodore Peaks, hello. Well, hello to you, Theodore. Let's scroll all the way down here. Oh my gosh, it bounced back up. Okay, scrolling down. Here we go. John Wells, it's good to see someone who believes in Christianity and likes to read. Are you a fan of Stephen James? He writes Christian fiction and probably my favorite author. Actually, I don't know Stephen James. So thank you so much for bringing that author to my attention. And I will for sure look up Stephen James because I'm looking for some new stuff to read. And if you have Stephen James books that are your favorite, let me know and I'll gladly check those out. Yeah, I mean, my favorite author of all time is C.S. Lewis. And some of my other favorite Christian authors are Ted Decker, Frank Peretti. And what I like about them is, Ted Decker writes a few cool horror stories, but they're Christian, a Christian horror story. But he also does really cool sci-fi and fantasy. And I like Frank Peretti because he does a really good job telling a horror story from a Christian perspective. I like This Present Darkness and Piercing the Darkness. Like a lot of good Christian authors out there that write good stories without them being preachy. And so, yeah, so definitely send me some Stephen James book ideas, and I'll definitely look into that. Go time now. What do you think of Roland Emmerich films like Independence Day 1, 2, and Godzilla 1998 and Stargate? I love Independence Day 1, dislike Independence Day 2, Godzilla 1998, do not like, and I really do like Stargate. So I guess you could say I'm very much back and forth on Roland Emmerich. But I do like his style. He's like, go big or go home. And so I like that. Like he goes big. And so I enjoy big, fun popcorn movies. They don't always work for me, but man, Independence Day is probably one of my favorite movies ever. And I also really do like Stargate. That movie was fantastic. Let's see here. Scott, thank you, Scott's Mayor. He said, congratulations on forming this faithfully nerdy community. Thank you so much, man. And again, all of my 6,000 and some odd like subscribers that I'm up to right now. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Driscoll Brothers, my favorite DC movie is Joker. Yeah, that is a good movie. I like the Joker. I think it was very good. It's very dark, very, very dark. And I love Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal. The best part of the movie, though, for me, is the musical score in that movie. It's haunting and it's brilliant. And I love how it matched the mood of Joaquin Phoenix and how the score and what Phoenix was doing and kind of his mindset, it just flowed together so well. So as much as like the story was good and Phoenix's characterization of the Joker was good, man, the way that score just ebbed and it flowed was so cool. Let's see here. Let me scroll down just a little bit more. Let's see. Falcon B. Have you seen The Founder with Michael Keaton? I think it's a great movie. I haven't yet, but it is definitely in my list of movies to watch during this time of quarantine. It was requested, so I will be seeing that soon. Scott's Mayor says the extended editions are well worth watching. I'm assuming you're referring to Lord of the Rings, because yes, they are. Let's see. Scott's Mayor, if you were to create your own story with all the creative freedom, what would it be about? Oh man, it would be sci-fi fantasy for sure in some genre. Man, what would it be about? That's good. You know what? I would actually need to think about that one. That's hard to just kind of pull right out of the air, but I would love to do an otherworldly story of leaving this world, going into some other world, and knowing me, I'm gonna connect it to God in some way, shape, or form, and it'll be fun like that. So I would do something along those lines. Driscoll Brothers. Us was oh, yes, Us was a horror movie that came out last year. I thought it was great. I haven't seen Us. I wanted to. I forget what came up, but I just didn't end up seeing it, and I haven't gotten around to it. That's why like my mind slipped earlier. I was like, "What is Us?" Yes, I remember that now that you bring that up. Duh, Durbin. No, that looks really good, and I would definitely like to check it out. What better time than the time we're living in right now? Let's see here. Dominion Scott said, I decided to watch Supergirl from 1984 because I was curious. As much as I enjoy the show, it wasn't good by any means, and I gave it a C. Well, that Supergirl movie from 1984 is terrible. Uh, you giving it a C is far better than I would do. Let's see here. Caleb Richardson, congrats on 6K. Love your theological reviews. Have you read or watched his Dark Materials? I understand it's not exactly kind to religion, but I was just wondering your take on it. You know what? I've only seen the first movie, and it was all right. I mean, I enjoy a good movie and a good story. And yeah, I guess it isn't exactly kind to religion. I haven't watched the HBO show yet. The trailers look pretty cool. I like the cast in it. I might check it out. Like I'm not against checking it out, but yeah. Let's see. Radford Rams, do you collect steelbooks? Yes, I do. I really do. And it's kind of recent that I started doing it because I think steelbooks look incredibly awesome. But I just got the Rise of Skywalker steelbook, and I think it's really cool. And you can check out some of my reviews and unboxings of that. Go time now. A movie that you regretted watching. For me, it was Human Centipede, and it was just segments in a movie. And it was just segments in a movie review. Wow, a movie that I regret watching. There's quite a few. It's always hard to pick out one because it's like, let me just think for a second. There's probably quite a few there. Eric, show your comics. Oh boy. Well, some of my comics are actually holding up my laptop right now. Some of them are over here on this shelf, and I got some right back there. Earth One comics. Let's see. What are some movies I regret seeing? You see, you can tell I'm trying to block it out of my mind altogether. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I regret seeing. My wife Laura is going to comment on this much later and like give me a whole great big list. I didn't see Human Centipede. That's just one that does not appeal to me at all whatsoever. I've definitely sat through some super boring art films that I just wish I could get that time back. Let's see here. Scott's Mayor. Oh yes, I love art, otherly world fantasy stories, especially with theological undertones. Me too. Brian Gustafson. What kind of villains do you find the most interesting? I'm liking the philosophy parts of Durbania, but I'm definitely at a loss for finding good but unexpected philosophical villains. Wow. What villains are philosophical? There's some good ones that are out there. There's a Christian movie that came out at the end of the 90s, and it's not that good. It's called the Omega Code. How many of you out there have actually heard of the Omega Code? Michael York, I don't know if you've heard of him, but he played the Antichrist. And he actually played an interesting philosophical version of the Antichrist. He had this whole scene where he's following prophecy in the Bible and he's like, am I really the villain? If I'm following these prophecies to a T and I'm just playing out the role that is assigned to me, am I really the villain here? And so, like, interesting philosophical questions that get thrown into there. I think Thanos is a very interesting philosophical villain, because on the one hand, you get it, like, he doesn't think he's being evil. He thinks he's trying to save the universe, right? And so it's interesting to get into his mind and see what he's thinking. But clearly he could, if he has shape of reality here with the gyms, couldn't he just expand the universe by half? Couldn't he just make it 2 times bigger instead of taking life? So, there are some really good philosophical villains out there. I mean, some of the Dracula movies I've watched has like the way they portray Dracula, he's pretty philosophical. Scott Smeyer, the main villain from Blade Runner. Yeah, that's a good philosophical villain as well. Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. See, you're helping me fill in the blanks here. Frollo was really good. Also, the Bishop in season 1 of Castlevania. Like he's a kind of interesting philosophical villain. There are a lot of philosophical villains out there, and maybe I'll try to do more theological reviews and analyses on philosophical villains. That's a really good idea. Batman big fan. Hello there. Remember me? I I think so. Falcon B, do you think Venom 2 will keep its October release date due to the COVID-19 situation? I have no idea. I mean, I hope so. I mean, I think movies that are probably coming out around Christmas time in November onward, they might be safe to keep their release date. But since the news on this thing changes all the time, for me, this is kind of like a waiting game. Let's just wait and see. 2021 and this fall and winter, it's going to be very interesting to see the movie schedule and how it shifts and stuff. John Wells, Stephen James is best known for the Bowers films. The first two, The Pawn and The Rook, are my favorite. I'll have to check those out. Brian Gustafsson, the Tyrell Corp is interesting, but I couldn't get a copy. Guys are having a fun conversation. Okay, Damian Scott, how about a Blu-ray collection video? Yeah, you know what? I haven't done one in a while. I did one a while back. So I'm due to upgrade it. I have a ton of movies. That would be one log video, but I am due to upgrade it. Let's see here. If I'm missing anybody's questions, definitely just send it again. I don't want to miss your questions. Let's see here. Redford Rames, did you ever walk out on a bad movie? I don't think so. I've had movies where I've wanted to, but I don't really remember actually reaching that point in a movie theater where I just stood up and walked out. What's your most disturbing movie? Wow, my most disturbing movie. Wow. What was my most disturbing movie? I have to think about that for you're asking really good questions and putting me on the spot here. A disturbing movie. Wow. I have no idea. That is a good question. I am going to be thinking about that for a while now. Wow, my most disturbing movie. It's funny because the ones I remember most are the ones that I really like and really enjoy. And then when I see something that's like really disturbing and I don't like, I kind of just write it off. Wow, let's see here. John Wells. Yes, Thanos, one of the best villains ever, in my opinion. Totally agree. Anna Paula, she says, are you interested in reading notes from your subscribers? Sure. So if you have a note you want to send me, for sure. Ryan O'Toole, the man. Hope all is well. Are you missing movie theaters like me? I am, Ryan. Check out Ryan O'Toole's channel. He's got a fantastic channel. I got to be a guest on his podcast. So unbelievably cool. I do miss movie theaters. So number one, I miss them because I'm missing a movie on the big screen. Number two, I work at one. I work and I live in a small town and it's a one screen theater and I miss it so much. So yes, I am definitely missing movie theaters. Let's see here. Batman big fan. We have 1,300 people that have corona in Kuwait, and Kuwait is so small. Wow. Well, let's keep Kuwait in our prayers. And Lord, we just pray for your healing power over Kuwait. And we just thank you. You are bigger than coronavirus. Go time now. What's your dream car you would like to have? I don't know if I have a dream car like that. I don't know too much about cars. I got a Kia Soul right now, and I'm really enjoying my Kia Soul. When I was younger, I always wanted like a bright red convertible, probably like a Ferrari or something cool. I like convertibles, especially now that I live in California where it's always sunny. So, yeah, maybe like any kind of convertible where I can just put the top down and enjoy the wind in my hair. Damian Scott, have you seen the Happy Death Day movies? Would you like a third movie? I have seen the Happy Death Day movies. I think the first one is probably the one I like the best. I did like the second one, trying to explain why her day kept on repeating. I would like the third one. It looks like it's a very interesting place where they left off. I missed the post-credit scene in the second movie, but I read about the setup. So I would be very curious in the third one. Big Batman fan, it's getting worse and worse each day. Yeah, It's definitely a scary and weird, difficult time, but keep your faith in God strong. Know that God is bigger than it, and He hears your prayers. The prayers of a righteous person availeth much. Damien Scott, do you have any pets? I do not. I would love pets, and if I had a pet, it would be a dog. It would be a dog, much like this guy right here. I just like dogs. I'm a dog person. So, yes, if I had a pet, that's what it would be. Caleb Richardson. I remember watching Left Behind 2, and there was this scene that I interpreted as the Antichrist praying when he's in the plane and has a conversation with God. It was very interesting. I'm trying to remember that in Left Behind 2. But yeah, I mean, sometimes they could do that. The Left Behind movies, I'm back and forth on those for sure. Yeah. Igosa Osala, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello again, Durbania. Is it possible to understand controversial subject matter within the context of the narrative? Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the point of the like narratives, right? To find creative ways to talk about complex things and controversial things. So yeah, I think it just depends on the story and how it's portrayed. Let's see, Aaron. I do hope movie theaters come back. They will come back. They will. So when? Who knows at this point, but hopefully soon. Damian Scott, I know this is decades old, but would you see Tim Burton's vision of Batman Forever? Wait, I'm sorry. I know this is decades old, but would you see Tim Burton's vision of Batman Forever then and what we got? I would love to see Tim Burton's vision of Batman Forever. You know how they kind of did like those animated versions, kind of continuing the Batman movies from the 1960s. I would like to see them do that with Tim Burton's version. That would be cool because then you could just make it animated, get the voicer, the actors back like Michael Keaton and stuff. So I would love to see Tim Burton's vision of what that third Batman movie in that series was going to be. Let me see here. What do you like on your hamburger? A lot of times I just like meat, cheese, and bun. I do like pickles and ketchup, but yeah, sometimes, just make it simple. Give me the meat and the cheese and the bun, and I'm happy. Anna Paula says, I said stories. Are you willing to read stories written by your subscribers? Oh, I'm sorry. And yes, yes, I would be willing to read stories written by my subscribers. Dark Side of the Inception movie. Is he still in the dream or not? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna say not. I'm gonna say he finally got out of the dream. I think we would have seen it topple if it didn't cut away. Either way, though, he's choosing his reality, right? And if reality is what you make it, then isn't it just still reality? Oh, let's see. Go time now. You live in California. Did you meet anyone famous like actors? No, I think I saw Ben Stiller one time. I'm not sure because his head and his hair look very different, but it looked like Ben Stiller. Um, I was told I bumped into somebody really famous once upon a time, but I don't know. Like I live kind of central California, so I'm about 3 hours north, 4 hours or so north of LA. I'm like right between San Francisco and LA. So I'm not really in a position where I would see celebrities regularly. I used to live though in Burbank and I used to work at, a TV production company as kind of the receptionist right across the street from the Warner lot. And you would think I would see more famous people then. And I still didn't. But during the writer strike is when I was working there. So I got to meet a lot of writers. Colin Williams, Durbin was on my live stream earlier. Ha ha. Colin Williams, great dude, great channel. And he's the co host on Ryan O'Toole's podcast. So thank you so much, Colin. He just did a live stream and joined me over here. Chandler Langley, would you ever consider doing a theological analysis to Blues Brothers? I've got tons of philosophical things to say about that movie. It may be stupid, but it means something. I would definitely be down to do a theological analysis on the Blues Brothers. Even though you may have deleted your channel, Chandler, maybe you'd like to join me and do something here on my channel about the Blues Brothers. It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I'd definitely be willing to do that. Go time now. Did you watch Pacific Rim 1 and 2, and what do you think about them? I did watch them. I like Pacific Rim 1 better. Pacific Rim 2 felt very much like Power Rangers. I don't know. I didn't like Pacific Rim 2 as much the more I think about it. Pacific Rim 1, though, had some fun stuff. It was like so dumb that it was fun. Let's see. Scott's Mayor, that must have been fun. Falcon B. I was wondering if you think in upcoming MCU films if they should bring back Tony Stark in any way, whether it be in a flashback or him or just Tony Stark's version of Jarvis. Honestly, I'd rather not bring him back. I mean, flashback is one thing, kind of like what we're probably going to get in this Black Widow movie. But man, his sacrifice was so important. It was so big. So there's this huge part of me that's like, just let Tony Stark rest in peace. It was amazing the way that character went out. Amazing the way that character sacrificed himself and completed his character arc. If you remember in the first Avengers movie, you guys remember that where Captain America, when they were all angry at each other, and he says, "You're not the type of guy to lay down on the wire." And to sacrifice your life for the game-winning play. And of course, you see, Tony takes the nuke into the wormhole at the end of that movie, so you kind of see him fulfill that then, but you really see that in Endgame, where he lays his life down to save his friends. It was just such an epic way to go. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be so bad, like if he becomes the AI Jarvis-like character. I guess that's not the end of the world, and that wouldn't undo. But I definitely, definitely, definitely don't care if he's alive in another timeline. I don't want to go see that. It just, I think, to me, to leave the impact, the period right there on his character, let him rest in peace. That's just my thing. So there you go. Let's see here. John Early, Ben Affleck will probably be remembered as this failed Batman experiment rather than the guy who directed The Town and Argo. I hope not. Oh, I hope not. Ben Affleck, you were a great Batman. It's not you that made that role fail. It was all of this crazy interference trying to catch up to Marvel, what happened with Justice League, that whole mess that made the Batman fail. Not you, Ben Affleck. You did a good job. I hope Ben Affleck is remembered as a good Batman. Damian Scott, have you met any of your subscribers in person? One time. One time. I went to a cousin of mine's wedding and I met one of my subscribers there. And it's funny because, it's not like a family member. This was a legit person I've never met in my life who found me through Cody Leach. And so it was actually kind of cool and kind of surreal. So that would be the only time I've met a subscriber in person. And it was fun. I would love to meet you guys in person. That would just be a blast to be able to meet all of you in person. Caleb Richardson, I would love to see Joel Schumacher's version of Batman Forever. Warner Brothers cut so much out. There's a cerebral scene which got cut where Bruce has a nightmare where he fights a giant bat. Fascinating. Fascinating. I would be curious to see that. I don't know. Like, I feel like the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin go a long way. I want to see the Tim Burton versions of those. And no, Neo Buddy said had a perfect exit, referring back there to Robert Downey Jr. He really did. I would not want to bring that guy back. Chandler Langley, I may be deleted, my friend, but I'm still up for a collab. Man, I'm trying to make a blog website. Making blog reviews are easier for me to do, to be honest. Awesome, dude. Well, let me know when you got that fully up and running, and I'll point people in that direction. Love to have you come on and do a Blues Brothers theological analysis. Go time now. Did you grow up on Power Rangers, and what did you think of the 2017 movie? I was in fifth grade when I got hooked on Power Rangers when, that came to the States. And yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I had a crush on the Pink Ranger. I wanted to be the Green Ranger who became the White Ranger. And the 2017 movie, I did like it. I was surprised by how much I liked it. I went into it because Ninja Turtles, I always love, and I'm not embarrassed that I love. When I look back on Power Rangers, I'm embarrassed that I loved it the way that I did. Like, I really am embarrassed about my fandom of Power Rangers when I was a kid. So when I went to see that 2017 movie, I had no expectations, and I really did enjoy that take on the Power Rangers. I'm sad it's not going to get a sequel. I did not think it was a bad movie at all. So I wish we got the sequel to that one, but now everybody's just kind of, I think, too old. Like, they're done with high school. It would make no sense to put them back in high school. Too many years have passed, so you probably can't do that, but it's what I would have rather gotten. That was, man, that makes me sad. I did like the 2017 version, especially at the end when they morph for the first time. And I caught myself by surprise when they get in their Zords for the first time and they're riding into the battle. And then you hear, "Go, go, Power Rangers." I cannot believe it, but I stood up in the theater and cheered. That was a surprise even to me. So there's my thoughts on Power Rangers 2017. And yeah, I grew up on them. Hello. I hope I'm saying your name right, Bilal Hussein. How will Spider-Man leave the MCU? Like Iron Man, or will he retire with MJ? Wow. Let's see. If we're talking about our Tom Holland Spider-Man, I really like him. And I hope we're not going to an MCU exit anytime too soon. But if he was going to exit the MCU, I would like to see this Spider-Man exit retiring with MJ. Like I really like this Spider-Man. So really I would just like to see him pass on the mask and then retire with MJ. That's what I would much rather see. Let's see, Driscoll Brothers. I've recommended this movie to you before, but I really think you would like Midsummer. Such an amazing movie. I'll have to check it out. I will. Brian Gustafsson says, any thoughts on body horror since you did the Aliens franchise? Which do you think are really good films? Any thoughts on body horror? I guess I don't have any thoughts on that. I did like the Alien franchise. Um, Alien 3 wasn't my favorite, but I find that a lot of people are really enjoying it. Like, I'm still getting new hits and new comments on those Alien reviews, and a lot on Alien 3. And it's pretty divisive, apparently, me and Cody Leach kind of dogging on that movie the way we did. So it's very cool to see what people are saying about it. Now that I'm years removed from that movie and that review, I'd be up for giving that a second chance. I do like the Alien franchise. I think overall it's not bad, and some of the newer ones like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I thought were pretty good. I mean, I guess I'm newer to the Alien franchise. I didn't grow up on it. I watched them for the first time all as an adult, so I guess my view coming in is a little bit different, but I did kind of like those movies as well. Let's see. Scott's Mayor, have you considered video games like Shadow of Colossus or Dust in Elysian Tale or Portal series on Telltale Games? Well, I got a Nintendo Switch. So I do like video games. I wouldn't say though I'm like the biggest gamer. I had the PS3 for the longest time. Loved the Batman Arkham games. I pretty much love any Spider-Man game I could get my hands on. But I'm definitely a huge Nintendo person, and I love my Nintendo Switch. And right now, I'm loving Smash Brothers. I've played through Mario Odyssey so many times. I love that game, and Breath of the Wild, you could just lose yourself in that game. So I try not to play that one that much. And then right now, have surprised myself by being hooked on Animal Crossing. Like seriously, what gives on that one? You walk around and you plant trees and shake trees and try not to get stung by bees, and I am hooked. Let's see. Damian Scott, did you hear the rumors about X-Men, the animated series, getting revived on Disney Plus? I did not hear that. And I need to go through and watch that series. I got about halfway through season one and then got totally caught up in Star Wars, The Clone Wars. So I need to go back and complete season one of X-Men, the animated series. I was really enjoying. I love how deep that show goes. It's very interesting how deep that show goes. And I know it only goes deeper past season one. So I need to go back and watch that. But yeah, the idea that Disney Plus will revive that is something that does interest me. Let's see. Go time now. Would you consider the would you wish you could review the anime My Hero Academia for hold on, it's moving for the first season. It is only 13 episodes. All right, I'll put that on my list. My Hero Academia. I'll be sure when I'm done with this, I'll go put it on my list and I'll try to get to that as soon as I can. So thank you so much for that go time now. John Early, Frank Miller once said, if you want to break into Hollywood, don't be the writer. The directors have all the power, and I agree that some people can't cut it as a director, like James Franco. Interesting. Driscoll Brothers, I really hope they don't bring back Iron Man. It would completely ruin the sacrifice. Yep, totally agree. Meaning Bird, congrats on 6K. Thank you so much. And again, anybody just joining, thank you for helping me to get to 6,000 subscribers. I just thank you guys so much. What are fun popcorn movies that you recommend? Man, okay. Independence Day is a not the second one, just the first one. That is a great, fun popcorn movie. Jurassic Park, well, I mean, that has a lot of meaning to me, but that is also a fun popcorn movie. I also like Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Fallen Kingdom is a lot worse, but it's still a lot of fun. And that's a really good, just kind of fun, mindless popcorn movie to watch. Speed with Keanu Reeves. Did you ever see that in the early 90s? That is a really fun popcorn movie and worth your time to check out if you haven't seen that. Keanu Reeves, like super young, but it's fun. It's really, really good. Speed is a fun movie. Oh, what else? What else? What else is a really True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis? That is a lot of fun. Oh, there's a lot of good popcorn movies definitely to be checking out. Let's see. Bilal Hussein says, I prefer a Spidey death, but I know it will break people's hearts. Yeah, it's true. But and if you do a Spidey death right, like if his exit from the MCU is a death scene, if you do it right, it's gonna be awesome. I mean, just look at Into the Spider Verse. I mean, we didn't even get that attached to that particular Spider Man right before he died, but it was really, really good. Sightseer, congrats, brother. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it, Levi. What are your thoughts on the Moon Knight Marvel show? I'm going to be curious to see it. I don't know much of anything about Moon Knight, but one of my good friends, the Cholo nerd who jumps on with me about Marvel stuff every once in a while on my channel, he loves Moon Knight. So the very little that I know about Moon Knight comes from him and a Spider-Man game I played back in the day. I don't even remember which one it was. But yes, Moon Knight sounds like a fascinating character, and I would love the opportunity to get to know him. So yeah, I would be incredibly curious for a Moon Knight movie. Damian Scott, are you watching Titans? I am not. Should I be? Let's see, Damian Scott. Who's your favorite Robin? Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, or Tim Drake, or Bruce's son? Bruce's son. I do like Dick Grayson, just mostly because that's the Robin I'm the most familiar with. Jason Todd probably got the coolest storyline, but I really do like Bruce's son. That kid is freaking hysterical. My brother bought me Rise of Skywalker Target exclusive. I'm very happy. Awesome, dude. Go time now. Have you watched Batman the animated series, Batman Beyond, Superman the animated series, and Justice League animated series? So let's go through that. Batman the animated series, yes. Grew up on that show. Freaking love Batman the animated series. Superman the animated series is absolutely fantastic. So well done. I haven't seen Batman Beyond in a long time, and I didn't watch it as faithfully as I watched Batman the animated series. But what I have seen of Batman Beyond, I really like and really enjoy, and I would love to go back and revisit it. Um, in Justice League the animated series, no, that is one I did not get into, but I love that whole era of DC animation. So it's definitely something I need to get into. Falcon B, how do you feel about Clone Wars season 7? I think it's okay. It's better now that we got Ahsoka in it. I like Ahsoka. She's probably one of my favorite characters, so I'm enjoying where her storyline is going, and I don't want to get into too many spoilers. The first chunk of it that kind of dealt with bringing back one of the former troopers was pretty interesting. One of the clones, like so, I enjoyed that. But honestly, season 6 was so much better. I mean, gosh, where you got Yoda learning about Force Ghost, how to retain your shape, talking to Qui-Gon Jinn, and there was so much more. Like season 5 and 6 to me were the best. Season 7 hasn't quite reached that yet, but I'm enjoying it. Uh, Agile Walker, what's up, Durbin? How are you doing today? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? Thank you for watching and thank you for being part of this. Driscoll Brothers, I can't believe I've been subscribed to you for over 3 years now. Love your channel. Wow. It's been that long. Well, thank you for being subscribed for that long, man. I greatly appreciate it. And what a nice thing to say. So thank you so much. John Early, a lot of people crap on these two CW characters, Kara Danvers, Supergirl, and Felicity Smoke, but I like them. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, though. I do know what you're talking about. I don't think I'd crap on them, but with Felicity Smoke, what I didn't like about her, especially when you got into season 5 of Arrow, it's not so much the character I started to dislike, it's the way she was written that I began to dislike. She was my favorite character, especially in season 1 and 2. I was rooting for her and Oliver to get together. But when you got into season 5 and he's trying to do Team Arrow and people that don't know him, he hasn't built trust yet. She's like, you gotta show your secret identity. And so he showed his secret identity, and one of them was a traitor. So he was proven right, but the way they wrote it, she had to be right. And so there's a lot of things like that where to me, she just got a little too melodramatic in the writing of her character in some of those later seasons. And for me, it made her character unlikable. But she still is a fantastic character. And I will forever, forever love seasons 1 and 2 of Arrow. And I will forever say, especially in those first 2 seasons, Felicity is one of my favorites. Super, like the show was so fun when season 1 was on CBS. As soon as the CW got a hold of it, I just started to dislike it. And it's not Supergirl's fault. It's just I didn't like the show. Let's see, Bilal Hussein, Deadpool versus Wolverine. That'd be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun. There's a comment here. Let me just scroll up just a little bit. I don't want to miss a lot of these here. Do you know the Spawn character with the red cape? I know who Spawn is, but no, I haven't really seen those movies and I don't know it that well. I wish I liked Rise of Skywalker, but there are too many plot holes and it's really kind of a mess. My opinion on why Rise of Skywalker is a mess is because of The Last Jedi. And I want to be careful in saying that because I don't want to cause controversy. I like to cause discussion. I don't like to cause controversy. So this is just personal opinion. There's a lot of elements in The Last Jedi that I liked. But the thing about The Last Jedi that I don't like is how I just felt like it kept getting, it just kept retconning things. Like it kept on trying to subvert for the sake of subversion. And so I feel like the Force Awakens set up, and then The Last Jedi knocked down that setup and tried to subvert that setup. And so when you bring in J.J. Abrams back, I mean, there were things that he set up that need to be answered, not subverted, answered. And so I think, to put it back to where we got to answer these questions that were raised in the first movie, what a challenge. What a challenge, the fact that the fan base is so utterly divided. What a challenge that you have this middle movie that went such a wildly different direction. It's like, okay. And we divided So, I respect Abrams for stepping in and doing what he did. I've heard rumors, and if somebody knows if this is true, let me know. So it might not be true because it's a rumor. JJ's original cut was like 3 hours, and Disney had him cut it down to like 2:45, and then another additional 20 minutes got cut out. So that could also be a huge part of it. I like The Rise of Skywalker. I think it's a good movie, but I know what you mean. There's plot holes, there's things that are missing, and I would like to see stuff filled in. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But yeah, okay, hold on. I missed one. I missed one. Let me scroll up just a little bit, guys. If I'm missing something from you, just keep posting it. Marvel Fan 45. I've been thinking of starting a channel because of quarantine. Should I? Well, that is totally up to you. So if you're thinking because of quarantine, you're bored and you want to do something, sure. But hold on, Dorito Chip Gamer, Last Jedi, come at me. Favorite Rain Johnson movie is definitely gonna be Knives Out. Okay, but yeah, if you want to start a YouTube channel, you know what? That's just up to you. Like, if you want to do it just because it's in quarantine, you have to ask yourself, is it something that I want to keep alive after quarantine? I mean, it is a lot of work to maintain a YouTube channel, but it's also a lot of fun if you step into it for all the right reasons. I've had ebbs and flows on my channel where sometimes I feel like I've lost the vision and it's gotten hard. And then other times I was like, no, I'm doing this because it's fun. I love God. I want to talk about God and movies. And so when I remember those things and I do it for the reasons that I started it and enjoy what I'm doing, man, I get into such good flow. So if you're going to start a channel, do it because it's just a passion that you got, something that you want to do, and something that you can find joy in doing. Driscoll Brothers, have you seen Arrival? Maybe my favorite movie of all time. I have. I wouldn't say it's my favorite movie of all time. Again, the best part for me is the musical score. Very interesting story concept in that movie. I've only seen it once. So I'm due to see it again to maybe get it fresher in my mind and freshen up my opinion, but I did enjoy it. Scott's Mayor, ideas for analysis. Number one, Cowboy Bebop, anime about existential crisis. Sounds good. Number two, Samurai Jack. One man is determined to get home. Three, The Lion King. That is a good one. Four, Disney's Fantasia. And last, part five, Winnie the Pooh. Six, Indian. Oh, wait, hold on. Disney's Fantasia. Oh, no. Oh, people are commenting. I'm loving it. Hold on, let me go up just a little bit, get the last bit of that comment. Let's see here. Disney's Fantasia, last part, and five, Winnie the Pooh, and six, Indiana Jones. I don't know if I've done an analysis on Indiana Jones. Winnie the Pooh is good, and the last part of Disney's Fantasia, I'll have to go check that out. Favorite Rain Johnson movie, I think I said it was Knives Out. I really enjoyed that one. Aaron Johnson, what are your thoughts on Rambo 1 through 3? They are fun popcorn action movies. The interaction between Stallone and Richard Crenna is terrific. I agree. I like the Rambo movies. I was surprised when I watched them all like back to back to back. And probably like I think my favorite would be 1, 2, and 4. And 4 was really interesting. 3 was good. It was just totally different. And I think 3 is just kind of more of a fun, don't think about it, just popcorn movie. But yeah, I think the Rambo movies are overall pretty fun. As y'all Walker, Disney movies, Pixar Soul to fall, Raya, The Last Dragon to next year. I hope Soul is going to be good. I like Pixar. And I think I remember seeing something about Raya, The Last Dragon. I need to look back into that. Dorito Chip Gamer, You should do top 30 movies of all time, like Austin Burke did. That's a good idea. So I'll start thinking about that. Top 30 movies of all time. Wow. That's a lot of movies. Let's see. Levi Clements. Did you ever watch Speed Racer, the cartoon or the movie? Not really. Sorry. Let's see. Dominion Scott. Are you a horror fan? Who's your favorite horror icon? Mine is Michael Myers. Well, I'm recently into horror thanks to people like Cody Leach. And let's see what my favorite horror icon. Oh man. I don't It's hard because, like, I don't know if I have a horror icon because the horror movies I like are less for me when I watch them. It's less about the icon, and I find it interesting how horror movies do a really good job sometimes tackling spiritual themes, making it really easy for me to do theological analysis on them. So usually when I'm watching a horror film, that's more or less what I'm looking for because that's a lot of fun for me. Favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie? That's hard. I don't know if I have one. I mean, I like some of them. Psycho was pretty good. The Birds had me laughing hysterically, but I shouldn't be because I should show more respect because for its time, it was pretty great. Let's see here. Dark Side Review says, "Amen to that, bro. YouTube is crazy amount of work, but it's fun." Referring to what I said earlier, yes, it is crazy amounts of work, but it is fun. You just got to remember, why did I start doing this to begin with? Let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie. I answered that. Scott's Mayor, be unique and stand out. Oh, more YouTube channel advice. Sweet. I love that. So I hope, my friend, you're getting lots of good YouTube advice in there. Marvel Fan 45, thanks, man. Going to start a channel tomorrow and hopefully keep it going. Love your channel. Well, thank you, Marvel Fan 45. There's a lot of good people in this chat that are giving you some good advice. So, you know, you got a community here. So don't be afraid to reach out to your community and get some movie reviewers and friends and collabs and stuff going because that will definitely help you in your growth and definitely you know, hit me up. I'll help you wherever I can. You know, my first year YouTube, I don't even count. I don't count my first year at Durbania. I didn't know about search engine optimization. I didn't know anything. I was just doing stuff. And then I just kind of learned as I went on. So it's been quite an experience. Let's see. Go time now. Have you watched Marvel animated movies like the Hulkverse movies? I have. I've seen the Hulkverse Wolverine. There was another one. I've seen at least two Hulkverse movies. The one I remember is the one versus Wolverine, apparently. I love the one where he faces Wolverine. It's very violent for a Marvel animated movie. Yeah, that's probably why I remember that one because of how violent it was. And it was good. I do like Marvel animated movies. Congrats on 6K subs from Christopher Mastid. I hope I'm saying your name right. What are your favorite MCU movies? Let's see. I love Guardians of the Galaxy, and the second one's good. I like the second one. The first one's definitely better, but I like both. I love the first Thor. I know a lot of people don't like that. That's my controversial one. I really like the first Thor. Love Captain America, Winter Soldier, Civil War is really great. The emotionality of that one in Infinity War and Endgame, absolutely amazing movies. Oh my gosh, I could just keep going about Marvel. There's a lot of good stuff in Marvel in the MCU. What is your favorite scene from Men in Black? From Ando Keen. Let's see. What is my favorite scene from Men in Black? Wow. You're talking about the first one. I'm going to assume you're talking about the first one. So in the first one, it's been a while since I've seen it. It's let's see. It's funny. What just popped in my head was that first scene where, Kay flashes somebody and then Will Smith is like, "Did you ever flashy thing me?" No, seriously, have you ever flashy thing me? Like, little moments like that are absolutely hysterical. Always classic when Kay gets swallowed by the bug and shoots it from the inside. And Will Smith, Jay, is trying to keep the bug from getting into the ship. I don't know. I like Men in Black 1. It's hard to pick a scene. It really is. But I do love those little lines where it's like, "Did you ever flashy thing me?" Chandler Langley, Justice League, the animated series, is an awesome show. Also, Batman, TAS, and Young Justice are both incredible as well. You got to check out Young Justice. The animated series is what got me into DC Comics. Well, I'll have to check out Young Justice. Have you seen Driscoll Brothers? Have you seen Arrival? Maybe my oh yeah, I've answered some of these questions. Okay, I must have scrolled up too high and hit questions that you guys had already asked and hit again. But it's fun when I do that because then if I miss something, there we go. So let's scroll down here a little bit further. Let's see. Go time now. How do you feel about a DC and Marvel crossover in movie form? I would love a DC and Marvel crossover. I think that would just be awesome. I would love it. I'd be in heaven, actually. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Kubrick movie. Mine is Doctor Strangelove and is an absolute comedy masterpiece. I don't know if I have one. Bilal Hussein says, "What is your favorite hero?" Mine was Iron Man, but now is Spidey. Superman, hands down. Second favorite would be Batman, and probably third, I could probably go into Spider Man. Like I like Spider Man a lot. Probably tied a little bit with Green Lantern. I'm a huge DC fan, but I love both DC and Marvel. Bilal Hussein, who is your favorite? Yeah, I did that. Jason Nike, First Blood is one of my favorite movies. Yes, First Blood is a very good Rambo movie. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Michael Mann movie. I have to think about that. Jason Nike. Hey, Durbin, congrats on 6,000 subs. Thank you, Jason Nike. Dorito Chip Gamer. You should also do a top 10 sci fi movies like Brian Lomax. That's also a very good idea. And Brian Lomax is a great channel. Everybody should check out. Go time now. Have you watched Marvel animation movies and what is your favorite? Yeah, see, I scrolled up too high. I wish my wife is here. She does a really good job keeping track of all your guys' comments. I scrolled up too high, found a bunch of comments that I missed and read those, and now I'm scrolling through and finding some of the comments I already hit. Hey, I'm scrolling down a bunch right now. If you notice that I did not say yours, just go ahead and put it in there again. I really don't want to miss it. I'm enjoying this time of hanging out with you. Jason Nike, Durbin, have you seen Sunshine? I have not. Dorito Chip Gamer, Goodfellows is better in my opinion. Dorito Chip Gamer, tomorrow is my birthday. Bad timing. Aw, well, happy birthday, Dorito Chip Gamer. So everybody throw him a happy birthday in the comments, even though it's a day early. I mean, why not, right? Let's see here. And Dando Keen says, "Have you seen anything from Guillermo del Toro?" Yes, Time Bandits is probably the one that sticks out the most in my head. And then the Imagination Emporium, I don't know, I never get that title right. Heath Ledger's real last movie where he passed away while they were filming it, and then they had to get other actors to replace him and found ways to do it as he's going in and out of doors and stuff like that. Like that was kind of our in and out of dreams. Like it was interesting. He's definitely a very fascinating director with a very distinct feel, very distinct flavor. Dorito Chip Gamer, do you like Austin Powers? What is your ranking? I do like Austin Powers. I would probably say my ranking, the third one is the worst, followed by the first one at number two, and my favorite is the second one. I just like mini me. So, I think the second one's probably my favorites there. Let's see here. Let's try to go back up just a little bit. Let's see. Marvel Fan 45. How would I contact you? Also, sorry, I forgot to congratulate you. Congratulations, man. You deserve it. Thank you, Marvel Fan 45. You know what? Friend me on Facebook. You can contact me that way. Just search Durbania on Facebook. You'll find me. If you are on Twitter, find me there. You can private message me on either one of those platforms. Those are probably the easiest. I mean, the way I talk to a lot of the YouTube community is through Facebook and through Twitter. So that might be a really good and easy way for you to get messages out to me and give you some advice or whatever else you might need. Driscoll Brothers, my favorite director is Tarantino. Awesome. I wish. I think he's got like two movies that I like. Adondo Keen, favorite comic from DC and Marvel. I haven't read a lot of Marvel comics, so I wish I could answer that one. If I had to, I'd have to say some of the X-Men because my brother-in-law has some X-Men comics that I've read at his house, and I've enjoyed them. Favorite DC comics right now, I love Superman Birthright. That is a fantastic Superman origin story. Right now, I'm loving the Earth One series. I think they're fantastic, with the exception of the Wonder Woman one. But the volumes of Superman, Batman, and Green Lantern in the Earth One series are just masterpieces. They're doing a really good job taking familiar characters and giving them a totally different twist. So I feel like I'm reading something unique, even though I know these characters so well. So I'm really enjoying Earth One. Wow, we've been at this for like an hour and 8 minutes. I'm loving this, guys. Thank you so much for wanting to hang out with me and keep it going this long. I really do appreciate this. This is a lot of fun. Let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Nolan movie. He made my two favorite movies of all time, Dark Knight and Inception. I'm probably Dark Knight. That would probably be my favorite Nolan movie. I can't help the fact that I'm a huge comic book nerd. Batman is my favorite second, comic book hero. And Batman Begins is a fantastic Batman origin movie, really grounding him. But there's just something about the Dark Knight that is special and really stands out to me as one of my favorite. Ryan O'Toole, what's up? And Marvel Fan 45, happy birthday, dude. Hey, Laura D, that's my wife. Yay. Let's see, what else do we got here? Thank you everybody for wishing a happy birthday. Hey Ryan, love your podcast. Yes. Thank you, Driscoll Brothers, for saying that. Check out Ryan O'Toole's podcast. It is absolutely fantastic. Jason Nike, Sunshine is a very faith versus science kind of movie. Lots to pick apart on that one. Well, I'll have to check that out. Sunshine. Thank you so much for that. Go time now. What do you think of the Nolan Batman trilogy? I like Batman Begins the most, but I personally think that The Dark Knight is overrated. I can see where you're saying with The Dark Knight being overrated. I really like the Batman Nolan trilogy. It's just absolutely fantastic. I don't hate the third one apparently as much as some people do. Uh, I do like The Dark Knight. It might be a little overrated, but it's probably my favorite. So if I had to rank it, I'd say The Dark Knight, followed by Batman Begins, followed by The Dark Knight Rises. So, but I like all of them. They're all very good. Dorito Chip Gamer, thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you to everybody that was wishing Chip Gamer a happy birthday in there. Appreciate that. Dimension Scott says, did you watch Tom and Jerry as a kid on Cartoon Network? Yes, I did. And I saw the animated movie. And that's why I'm not looking forward to, I guess, the live action movie, which is just a weird choice. But anyway, but I did like the show. It was fun. Let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Dr. Evil moment. Mine is the Jerry Springer scene. That is awesome. The one that always stands out to me is on his moon base and his chair's going crazy. And he's like, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And then finally the chair stops and he's like, okay, sick as a dog. Love, love that scene. Bilal Hussein says, where is Harry Osborn in the MCU Spider Man? Was he replaced by Ned? That's a good question because I have no idea. Like, part of me wants to think maybe he was replaced by Ned. I hope not because I really like Ned. But then wouldn't that make the villain all that greater if Ned turns against him? Harry Osborn's got to be there somewhere. Maybe we'll watch Peter meet Harry and then develop that friendship. I have no idea. So there's things like that in this version of Spider-Man that have yet to be introduced that I'm curious if they're going to introduce and if they do, how. Like I'm very curious what's going to be going on with that. Let's see here. Let's move down. Dorito chill. Okay, let me. I gotta scroll all the way down here. Oh, Laura, why do you have to be an essential employee and not here? Oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's see here. Again, if I'm missing something, just keep on posting because I want to be sure to get everybody's questions here. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel talking about movies? Well, I spent 14 years working in Christian radio. During that time, like I would have my brother-in-laws come out and visit every summer and we'd go see movies. And as we were driving home, we would love just to talk about the movies. And then we'd get overly theological and philosophical. And we'd drive my youngest brother-in-law crazy, but we would just go so deep into these movies. It was insane. And I had so much fun doing that. So 14 years in Christian radio. The last station I worked at was listener supported and listeners quit supporting. So the station went under and that sucked. It's never fun to get laid off. And I was like, well, what am I going to do now? And so I started it as kind of like a podcast, but like just short bits, like short reviews, not like a long podcast. And then it just kind of went from there to let me take what my brother-in-laws and I used to do, driving home, getting overly philosophical and theological movies, and let me just do that on YouTube. And then my channel Durbania was born with my first video defending Man of Steel. Definitely check out my first video. Like it's weird looking, but it's a lot of fun defending Man of Steel. And so, yeah, that's what started that. So thank you so much for that question. Driscoll Brothers, thoughts on Get Out? It's a 2017 movie directed by Jordan Peele. I haven't seen it. I forget why. There's no particular reason that I haven't seen it. I don't know. I need to see it. Aaron White, did you ever get the book, The Gospel According to the World's Greatest Superhero? recommend it to you. I recommended it to you a while ago. I have not. And I thank you for reminding me of that recommendation because I definitely need to do that. This is a good time to be reading books. And so this would be a good time to pick up on that. So thank you so much for redoing the Dorito Chip Gamer 2001, A Space Odyssey, or The Shining. The Shining for sure. I watched 2001, A Space Odyssey with a friend. It's definitely an interesting movie. I was bored as snot. Aaron Johnson, the Nolan Batmans is probably a good example of how a story should be done in a good way, though I do like the campy humor in the Burton Schumacher Batman films, which are fun too. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a give and take. I don't like it when you get into the Schumacher. I feel like there's lack of balance there, and it just gets all into the campy stuff. But I like Tim Burton, and I like what he did, and I liked Nolan, and I like what he did. So what's hard is they're two different versions of Batman so completely that it's hard to say one is better than the other. It's just a personal preference of what version do you like. Falcon B, what is your favorite non-movie related YouTube channel? There's this one like about C.S. Lewis. I forget what it's called, but it's like C.S. Lewis Doodle. I think that's actually what it's called. But it's like they take these segments from somebody reading C.S. Lewis book on tape and do a fun little doodle thing and kind of animate what is being read. And it's mostly from his nonfiction book. So I find that to be a very interesting YouTube channel. Dorito Chip Gamer favorite Denis Villeneuve movie. It is a tie between Prisoner's Arrival and BR 2049. Would say 2049. Oh, BR. Yeah. I'm hyped for Dune. I'm reading the book. I tried to read the book. Um, Blade Runner 2049, I thought was okay. Uh, I saw Arrival. I liked that one, but yeah, I guess I haven't seen a ton of those other movies, so it's kind of hard for me to answer that one. Scott's Mayor. I wonder who could be on this podcast. Like the one I did when I first started, it was just me like doing super short things. But if you're talking about like Ryan O'Toole podcast or Sean Chandler podcast, they're a lot of fun. Lots of people on those. Damien, oh, something. There we go. Damien Scott. Do you think Venom 2 will be better than the first movie? I hope so. I like Venom 2. It was good. It just kind of felt like it was missing something in the middle. Otherwise, I thought Venom 1 was okay. I think Venom 2 definitely has potential to be far better and greatly outshine the original one. Jason Nike, Man of Steel is brilliant. Thank you for that. I totally agree. It's in my top 10 movies of that decade. Yep. Yep. Me too. I like Man of Steel a lot. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Superman Returns is so much better than Man of Steel. Aaron White. Oh, I love this. Any Superman discussion we can get into is awesome. I just said this on my friend Steve's channel, Film Trigger. Superman Returns is, as a standalone movie, interesting. As a sequel to the Christopher Reeve movies, it makes zero sense whatsoever for a myriad of reasons. But as a standalone thing, it does have an interesting story and it's kind of an interesting concept and, ode to the original Christopher Reeve movies. Let's take a look here. Marvel Fan 45 got to keep up the great work, Derb. Thank you so much. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite comic book movie? That is hard. There's a lot of good ones out there. I mean, nostalgic reasons. I love Superman the movie from the 70s. That is just absolutely fantastic. Started everything, right? Batman 1989 because of my childhood just excitement to see that movie. Man of Steel I think is a great modern take on Superman. There's a lot of good ones that are out there. The MCU is just doing a fantastic job even in their worst movies. Let's see here. Marvel fan, I already read that one. Favorite comic book movie, did that one. And Ando Keen, opinion on the Harry Potter saga. I do like the Harry Potter movies. When I met my wife Laura, I never read the books or really seen the movies that much. My wife loves Harry Potter. So it was almost a prerequisite to dating her that I had to read all of the books. And then I sat with her and watched all the movies. And I enjoyed them, with the exception of the fifth book, which is almost 1,000 pages long. That was too much. Too much. But the movies are good, and I think they do a good job. The best adaptation I've seen is the first Harry Potter movie. How close it is to the book. It's incredible how close they got that movie to the book. I did like the seventh film and how they split it into two because it didn't really feel like it was done as a cash grab like every other YA book is now after that. Like that just became the protocol. Whereas I think Harry Potter did it for a purpose to tell the complete story. And so I thought that was pretty cool and I enjoyed it there. Did not enjoy that take anywhere else. But I do like the Harry Potter saga. I think they're good books. The Fantastic Beast movies, I'm not so much a fan of right now. They're not terrible, but they're not, to me, classic like the Harry Potter movies. Damien Scott, how about a video on underrated and overrated comic book movies, please? That is a very good idea. I'm going to have to write that down. Falcon B, do you watch the John Campea show? Every once in a while. I don't watch it faithfully, but do those little bits out of his John Campea show where he'll carve out like 15 minutes of one topic he talked about. It's usually got to be something like super interesting for me. Like he said something about the Superman on the CW and how he was portrayed. I watched that because I don't like what they did with Superman in season 2 of Supergirl, but whatever. Let's see here. Go time now. Did King do you like Kong movies? Mine is King Kong by Peter Jackson. Now, Peter Jackson, I haven't seen in a while. I remember not liking it as much. I don't know how I feel now, though. Maybe I feel differently now that I've been reviewing movies and looking at them through a different light. Some of the older ones are fun. I haven't seen like the older ones in a very long time, but they are fun, and I do like Kong Skull Island. I think that's really good. I'm looking forward to Kong vs. Godzilla. Uh, Ando Keen favorite animated movie. Oh my gosh, what is my favorite The Lion King. That was It's just my favorite. I love The Lion King. Such a well-told story, and I still get the feels, like the hair standing up on the back of my neck when Mufasa dies, and Simba's like, "No!" and the camera's zooming out of his eye. Oh, man. Let's see here. Favorite Scorsese movie? Mine is Taxi Driver. Dorito Chip Gamer, can I admit that I haven't seen a ton of Scorsese movies, mainly because like it's not my favorite genre. My favorite genre for sure is fantasy and sci-fi and the superhero stuff. So I mostly stay there. Do you like Wolf of Wall Street? I haven't seen it. Aaron White, Superman Returns poster is still awesome. Christ-like pose in space over the Earth is freaking awesome. Aaron White, I'll give you that. It's pretty interesting, like the cool poster and how they set that up, and then him listening to everybody on Earth. It's kind of like Jesus listening to our prayers, except Jesus can answer our prayers, whereas Superman had to pick who he was going to save. So that kind of interesting there. But yeah, no, that's a very good point. And they did put out like really cool posters and stuff for Superman Returns. So there's a lot of stuff about Superman Returns that was pretty cool. Let's see. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite director. I kind of answered this earlier. It's hard to pick a favorite director, but I think I'm in the Peter Jackson Spielberg area because I love Jurassic Park, such a nostalgic movie. I love Lord of the Rings, such great fantasy epic. Superman on season 2 of Supergirl. What happened? So to answer your question, Neo Body, the thing that I did not like is at the end of season 2 of Supergirl, when Superman was all hocked up on silver kryptonite and he got Supergirl with Zod, and then she beat the snot out of him. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Like that doesn't matter. What drives me nuts is how Superman had to keep saying, "Oh no, I was at my full strength and she beat me. The world could live without Superman, but it can't live without Supergirl." It was dishonorable to Superman. And I didn't like that. It's like, no, I get it. I get it. It's Supergirl's show. That's fine that she beat Superman. But to keep having Superman be like, no, she beat me fair and square. The world would be fine without me as long as it's got her. That type of stuff annoyed the ever living snot out of me. It just didn't fit. It was out of character. It just felt like, anyway, I'm done with that. So I did not like that. To answer your question there, Neo, is it Neo Dobby? That's how I felt about that. That's how I felt. Yeah. Let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer, Brandon Routh or Henry Cavill? Aaron White said Brandon Routh. I'm gonna say Henry Cavill. I like Brandon Routh. He just didn't get a chance to be his own Superman. He did a great job playing Christopher Reeve's Superman. He was fantastic. I have no complaint about Brandon Routh. Fantastic actor, and I love seeing him reprise that role in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like that was my favorite part of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I have nothing negative to say about him and his acting in that. But I liked Henry Cavill. I thought it was cool, and I want to see more of that. Dorito Chip Gamer, do you think the Arrowverse has hit a new low? They basically ruin Arrow, and all the other shows suck. I quit watching a long time ago. So if they did something else to hit a new low, I, I, I haven't seen it in so long. I feel bad about that because I like Grant Gustin as the Flash. I loved Stephen Amell as Oliver Queen. Like it's good, man. It's good. It really is. It's just for me, I lost Arrow completely after season 4. Just didn't care and quit watching after I can't believe I stuck through season 6. How did I do that? Because I wasn't even paying attention through season 5 or 6. And I feel bad about that because I loved seasons 1 and 2 of Arrow. And, seasons 1 and 2 of The Flash are fantastic. And so is season 3. But they lost appeal for me after that. The thing about Smallville is Smallville kept your interest because even when it was bad, like when it went good, it went really good. And you're waiting to see him become Superman. There's an event you're waiting for it to happen. There's something you're building towards. And I think that was the smart way to do that with Smallville because you knew you were building to something. And maybe that was lacking, but it was still cool to see Arrow in those first 2 seasons, even though it wasn't, like, building towards the Justice League. But Smallville always kept my interest, mainly because I love Superman. I think Tom Welling was doing great. Michael Rosenbaum is the best Lex Luthor I've ever seen anywhere. That show kept my attention even when it went bad, because it always seemed to right itself and go back and do something excellent. And I just was having trouble finding that with Arrow and The Flash when you got into those later seasons. Let's see here. Driscoll Brothers, I dare you to watch Cats the movie. Hey, Cholo nerd, you want to get together and have a bad movie night? He and I did Sharknado marathons. We love bad movies, so maybe we'll do that. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Godzilla movie. Well, seeing as I didn't grow up watching Godzilla, like I'm not looking all the way back to all the original Godzilla stuff. So I liked um I actually liked King of Monsters. I thought that one was pretty good. I did like the first Godzilla in 2014. I just wish we got more of the actual character Godzilla in there. Driscoll Brothers, I don't like Godzilla King of the Monsters. Sorry, buddy. I thought the human parts were horrible. Yeah, the human parts were pretty horrible. I agree. I have no argument. Let's see. I hope I'm saying your name right. Thomas Man 97. Are you planning on making some more videos on the Lord of the Rings trilogy? Some more deep thoughts to analyze some more scenes. I find them a masterpiece that can be talked about for hours. I do too, man. Yeah, yeah, it's a good idea. I'll have to go back and go through the burden of rewatching them again. Just kidding. It's not a burden at all. I would love to go back and rewatch some fantastic scenes in that. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. My gosh, we're at this for an hour and 25 minutes. You guys are so fun. This is a lot. To me, this doesn't feel like it's been that long. Aaron White, did you like or dislike the Smallville finale? I'm on the side of liked. I liked it. Season 10 is my personal favorite. There's a lot of things about season 10 that were incredibly great. Here's what I didn't like about the Smallville finale: the reverse rapture concept. The fact that Darkseid was arriving and marking his followers, and those that were in fear would be raptured to his planet. In other words, raptured to apocalypse, or raptured to hell, basically. And the only way to not get that kind of rapture, to not be raptured at all, was to place your faith and trust in Superman. I thought that that plot was kind of weird. It was kind of on the nose. Beyond that, though, if I was to look past that, which I can because I still really really like Smallville, bringing Michael Rosenbaum back and that scene where he was back was brilliant. Him and Clark meeting again and having that conversation is amazing. A lot of those one-on-one conversations between Clark and his mom, and then when his father shows up as a ghost, like fantastic. There's a lot of stuff that is great. I think season 10 is a really good origin story to that universe's version of Superman. So there's a lot of stuff to like about it. I was a little bit back and forth on it. I was a little upset he didn't actually wear the Superman suit. I get it. The rule is no flights, no tights. But in my mind, I'm like, isn't it okay to break that rule when the finale is him becoming Superman? Show us him flying and in the tights. That show. Maybe don't even give him tights. Give us a fresh take on the Superman outfit. That's fine. But make him Superman, for crying in the dirt. So I did like it, but as you can tell, there's a little bit of a battle inside of me when it comes to that. But there's a lot of great scenes and a lot of great moments in that Smallville finale. Go time now. Where do you think the Arrowverse should have ended? Oh man, it's hard to say since I quit so long ago. Um, I don't know where it should have ended. Honestly, once the combining the show started to get really big, it's like they should have just kept it combined, made it one show and transformed it into some form of a Justice League show. I don't know. That's so hard to pinpoint where they should have ended it. But season 3 of Arrow to me started to go off the rails a little bit, and season 4 took it way off the rails. There was a lot of interesting things still in season 3 of Arrow, but season 4, it was just gone. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think Arrow should have ended before season 3, and they left being grounded for all the magic stuff. 20 thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for that. I greatly appreciate that. And again, 6,000 subs. That's why I'm doing this video. Thank you all so much for subscribing. And I'm so excited that we've been going for almost an hour and a half now, and you guys are still asking me questions. This is a lot of fun. So thank you all so much for this. Yeah. Oh, what was I just answering? Yeah. Shiny thing. Let's see. Oh yeah, where Arrowverse should have ended. Yeah, I don't know. That's hard. It really is hard to say. But they should have kept Arrow grounded and gritty. They should have kept the Flash bright and fun, with Barry Allen being more bright and fun. And I wish they would have kept the tone, or what Supergirl was on CBS. To me, it was a lot more fun on CBS than on CW. Let's see here. Scott's Mayor Durbania, you know what movie you should go deeply into thematically and analyze? The Room. I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah, that could be fun to go into for sure. Driscoll Brothers, you should watch Jojo Rabbit. Such a fun movie. Good idea. I haven't watched it yet. I need to check that out. Dorito Gamer, who would you cast as the new Flash? I have no idea. It's gotta be somebody fun and light because I like the humor of The Flash, and I kinda like I like Grant Gustin's humor, like the first 2 seasons of The Flash. I liked our current cinematic Flash. His name is somehow slipping my brain. Somebody will remind me. I know that. Thank you for it. But, I liked his humor in the Justice League movie. So something to match that humor. I have a hard time casting these things. It's kind of difficult. Tom Holland would be a good Flash, but he's already Spider-Man, so no, let's not do that. Let's see. And Dando Keen says, "Have you seen The Good Place?" Yes, I have. I liked that show for the first 3 seasons. After a while, it just kinda got this weird repetitive, we keep erasing their memories and starting things over, and it's like, okay, that right there, it was getting old. But those first several seasons first 2 seasons, definitely for sure, were fantastic. I thought that show was hysterical and had a really good premise. It's just one of those premises, it's really hard to keep it going. I think they did as good as they could with it, though, and I didn't totally dislike the ending of it, though it was kinda weird, like, I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer. Pick between these masterpieces: Cats, The Fanatic, Gotti, The Room. Oh, man. I'll pick The Room. Christopher Masted said, what are your favorite Predator movie and what are your favorite Alien movies? And what franchise do you like the best of the two? Also, what are your thoughts on the AVP movies? I like the first AVP. I don't like the second AVP. I would pick the Aliens franchise over the Predator franchise. But I definitely really like the first Predator movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It is just a solid movie, and I thought the third Predator movie was actually pretty good. Not the best, but I thought it was pretty good. So, like, yeah, that's kind of where I am on that one. Aaron White, are you a Joss Whedon fan? Buffy, Angel, Firefly? Yes. Haven't seen Buffy or Angel, but Firefly has got to be one of my favorite shows of all time. Hashtag bring back Firefly. I love the movie Serenity. I love the show Firefly. I love that show. It is flippin' amazing. Joss Whedon, thank you forever for those characters. And yeah, he did a great job with Avengers. And even with all the interference that he said he had with Age of Ultron, I still think it came out really good. So, Joss Whedon, you're good. Let's see here. Rank every DC animated movie. That's a good idea for a future video. Wow, there's a lot of good DC animated movies that I've seen that would be a lot of fun to rank. Let's see here. Edondo Keen says you should watch Pan's Labyrinth, a Guillermo del Toro film. Yeah, I've seen that. It's actually pretty good. It's been a while since I've seen it. Ezra Miller. How could I forget that? Thank you, Dorito Chip Gamer. Earlier I was forgetting Ezra Miller's name. Oh, thank you so and Neo Dobby. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh. Go time now. Is it hard for you to rank movies? For me, it is. I rank a trilogy as one movie. Yeah. You know what? It is hard for me to rank movies. And sometimes when I'm doing rankings, I gotta sit down and really think about it because it is hard because I like to like movies. Dorito Chip Gamer, thoughts on AI 2001. Super good and very sad. Let's see. Nicole Lovecraft. I think my last message got lost in the shuffle. So sorry and ignore it. So sorry and ignore if repeat. But I'm starting a channel for hedgehog education, advice, etc. And you're one of my inspirations for doing that. Aw. Well, thank you so much. And when that channel's up and going, let me know. I'd love to come, subscribe, check that out. Thank you so much, Nicole. And thank you for being such a great supporter of Durbania, both through Patreon and just commenting and being a part of this stuff. So I'm super excited for your channel to come out. So thank you. That's awesome. Driscoll Brothers, have you seen Ford versus Ferrari? No, I haven't, but I've heard nothing but good things. Damian Scott, what's your guilty pleasure movie? Man, I like the Underworld movies. Like some of the sequels aren't that good, but they're still fun and they're fun guilty pleasure movies. So yeah, a lot of weird vampire movies like that are just fun guilty pleasure movies for me. I wouldn't consider it. I was gonna say Independence Day, but no, I'm proud of liking that one. So I don't feel guilty about that. Guilty pleasure song. I don't have a guilty pleasure song. I don't think I do. No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Driscoll Brothers. I know it will never happen, but I would love if Leonardo DiCaprio would join the MCU. Yeah, that'd probably never happen. But it would be kind of cool to see. Falcon B, what are your thoughts on Journey to the Center of the Earth movies? I personally like them and they're a ton of fun. Yeah, I think they're pretty fun. I don't remember Journey 2 as much. So that one kind of left my mind. But I like Brendan Fraser, and that first one I thought was a lot of fun. Let's see. Aaron White, All Star Superman is my favorite DC animated Superman. Love the ending. It is a fascinating Superman story. It really is. It's definitely worth checking out. Pretty interesting movie, too. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Paul Verhoeven movie. Mine is Total Recall. I do like Total Recall, though Robocop freaked me out as a kid. I love Starship Troopers, and The Hollow Man is good. Haven't seen Showgirls and Basic Instinct. I have no interest in Showgirls or Basic Instinct, but I will say that RoboCop it would probably be my favorite. Let's see here. Favorite James Mangold movie. Can I be cliche and just say Logan? I did also like the Wolverine, where he goes to Japan. I thought that was really good too. He directed that, right? I'm pretty sure he did. Chandler Langley. Apparently, Sam Raimi is going to direct Doctor Strange too. Thoughts? I'm kind of excited about that. At first, I was sad that the director of the first Doctor Strange wasn't coming back, but I think that's pretty cool. Like Sam Raimi, the horror background, and Doctor Strange kind of goes for that horror feel, and apparently this one's supposed to go for that feel. And honestly, it kind of leads to certain questions like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Multiverse of Madness. Are we gonna pull him into it? So I like the questions that it raises. Oh, this has been a lot of fun, guys. Let's go. Okay, in California, it's 4:35. Let's go 5 more minutes, and then I gotta get ready because I gotta do some church stuff and get ready and editing all that stuff and all that. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So let's do 10. No, I'm sorry, 5 more minutes. Let's see. I watched every episode of Arrow to where I enjoyed myself. Well, good, good. That's awesome. I mean, it kind of lost my attention, but I know there's a lot of people that still love it, and I'll never take that away from anybody because we're all different and they're just meant to be fun anyway. Dorito Chip Gamer, Ed Wood, or the Disaster Artist. I haven't seen The Disaster Artist. Ed Wood, though, was pretty funny. Dominion Scott, I watched I already read that. Jason Nike, I love the story to Justice League Doom. It's a fantastic story. It is. It's very interesting. And to see Batman, like how he's so prepared to take on everybody in the Justice League, it's very, very interesting. Go time now. F9 is coming out next year. Are you going to do a Road to F9 movie with Matique? It is really hilarious. You should do a vid on how they survive all those impossible stunts. You know what? Go time now. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna work on teaming up with Matique again. And I was already messaging him before this coronavirus thing got really big and all the movies were pushed back. And so yeah, we were already kind of getting ready to gear up and review that movie and stuff like that. So I am kind of sad that it's not out and that Matique and I have not, done a cool collaboration on this and continued our collab going back and forth on his channel and my channel of those movies. And yeah, I would love to do another video about how everybody in the Fantastic series is Kryptonian and nothing hurts them. Driscoll Brothers, my favorite movie of all time is Fight Club, one of the best movie twists ever. It does have a very good twist. Grant F. What's up, Durbin? Hope your Easter was amazing. He is risen. He is risen indeed. My favorite superhero film is The Dark Knight. Logan comes close to topping it, but nothing beats Ledger's performance. Yep, I can agree with that. I love Ledger. Grant F., thank you so much for joining. Aaron White, favorite Narnia movie. Do you want the silver chair next or reboot start over? My favorite Narnia movie is probably Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. The Voyage of the Dawn Treader I thought was overall pretty good. Honestly, at this point, reboot it. And when I say reboot it, do it in chronological order, not the order he wrote it in, because there's two different orders you could do Narnia in. C.S. Lewis wrote it in one order, and then there's also a chronological order. And so if you do it in chronological order, you have The Magician's Nephew, which has never been done. Then you could go into Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then you could go into The Horse and His Boy, which has never been done. So now you will have something that's been done like 3 or 4 times, but sandwiched between something we haven't seen done yet. So I think that'd be a cool way to mix it up and kind of keep it going. All right, 60 seconds. So let's just do a few more questions here. I'm so excited that you all join me for this. This has been so much fun. I really do enjoy this. Let's see here. Dorito. I was really for F9, but I didn't like the trailer at all. I was back and forth on it. I'm kind of back and forth in the whole series. There's things about the series that to me is tremendously fun and things that are tremendously stupid. And some of the stuff is so stupid it is fun. So I go back and forth on, the whole Fast and the Furious cities movies. Can I be controversial and say to me, Fast and the Furious is like Sharknado? It's utterly ridiculous, and sometimes that's part of what makes it fun to watch. Oh my gosh, Aaron Johnson, what is your thoughts on the Sonic the Hedgehog movie? I think that they should have made more time to improve the story. I could agree with you on that. Like, yeah, I could definitely see more time on the story. Kind of weird because Sonic is so fast, he could have found San Francisco just fine. And but the movie itself was fun. And as a video game movie, I think it was well done. I enjoyed it. I stayed in the post-credit scene, so I'm very much looking forward to the sequel, which they better make. So as a whole, it is a good movie. But what you're saying is very understandable. I definitely feel like there's some things they probably could have ironed out more. They were really going for a buddy road trip movie, which is hard to do when you have a character that moves as fast as Sonic. So I think they needed to spend more time with that. What if he lost his powers or something? That would have been better. I don't know. Anyway, Aaron Johnson, what is your thoughts on the Sonic? Oh, I already answered that. Christopher Mustard said, "Have you played the Batman Arkham games?" I have. If you have, which one is your favorite? Arkham City. Mine is Arkham Knight. My favorite storyline is an Arkham Knight. My favorite game to play is Arkham City. Um, Thomas Man 97. I would also really like to hear your thoughts on the Green Mile movie. My thoughts on the Green Mile is that movie is utterly fantastic. And if I was to give a quick analysis on it, of course, that lead character dude just being so innocent in his mind. Of course, God would bestow him with that amazing healing gift. And that movie is just, it's emotional. Tom Hanks' performance is amazing. Michael Clark Duncan was incredible. The ending is so utterly emotional. Like, it's hard to watch because of how heavy that movie is, how emotional it gets at the end. So, yeah, quick thoughts on The Green Mile. A. It's a great movie. I'd give it an A. Let's just do a few more questions. It's 4:41. I'm kind of 1 minute over what I said. So let's just do um, just a few, like maybe three more questions. So here's number one. Thoughts, Driscoll Brothers, thoughts on Misery. I was really surprised to see that movie and I really enjoyed it. Misery was fantastic. I mean, it's just crazy how this crazy fan of this book author kept him tied up in this house and how much he was trying to escape. It's like, is he really just trapped inside of one of his books? Like, it was insane. I thought that movie was so well done. The acting in it was just absolutely brilliant. So, as a whole, I thought that movie was absolutely fantastic. Question number two. Looks like we're slowing down here, which is a perfect time. Let's see here. Dorito Chip Gamer, favorite Fincher movie. Mine is Fight Club with Zodiac at 2. I guess I'd have to say Fight Club, but I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't think I've seen a lot of David Fincher movies, just to be honest with you. Damian Scott, I don't understand when people say which is the worst Spider-Man movie. Is either the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or the MCU Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. I don't understand when people say which is the worst Spider-Man movie. Is either the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or the MCU Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 3. It's a side up. Yeah. It's hard to say which is the worst. I think that's what you're getting at. What is the worst Spider-Man movie? And it's hard to say which because it just depends on people's taste. Like my favorite is Tom Holland. Like I think he's the best so far, but everybody's different. What are your thoughts on the film series City Slickers with Billy Crystal? Thank you, Aaron Johnson, for that. And I might have to make that my last question because I got to go get ready and do some essential work. But I want to say I like City Slickers. 1 is really good. City Slickers 2 is my favorite. I love City Slickers 2. I think it's absolutely hysterical. Well, on that, guys. Well, hold on. Aaron White, favorite Rocky film. Mine is Rocky Balboa, but love all of them, even number 5. I know I've seen 1 through 4. I haven't seen Rocky Balboa or Creed, and I need to. I have no idea. Like other movies keep coming up. Since I'm more of a sci-fi fantasy guy, I end up seeing those. But I do like the first 4 Rocky movies a lot. It's hard to say what is my favorite, partly because it's been so long since I've seen them. But I think the most recent one that I watched for a theological analysis was Rocky 2, and had a lot of fun kind of digging into that and Rocky kind of finding purpose and the fact that now we have this rematch coming. So I don't know. It was an interesting sequel that did a good job diving deeper into the character, I think. So I like Rocky 2 a lot. All right, guys. See you. You deserve much more than 6K. You also have to see Creed. Thank you, Driscoll Brothers. I do have to see Creed. And well, I guess we got time now, don't we? Thank you all so much for joining me for this. I am going to be, thank you for that, Aaron White. Yeah, Rocky Balboa has a good theological message. Go review it. Well, I'll put that in my list. Thank you so much for that. And see you later. And thank you all so much for joining me in this 26 thumbs up. I mean, I had good amounts of people in here. It was so fun being able to hang out with you over an hour and a half. You guys kept this conversation going and alive. Thank you. This was a lot of fun. I totally agree. Thank you guys for joining me for this live stream. And one more time, thank you. Every one of you who are part of my 6,000 subs, thank you. So rank the Monsterverse with Godzilla vs Kong. I've done one ranking of that, and I can't wait for the next one to come out and rank it all together. But thank you all so much for joining me in this. Thank you so much for these conversations. It's so great to get to know you better, and I hope you get to know me better. Thank you for being subscribers. Thank you for watching this. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it more than you know. So thank you all so much for joining me here today. And I look forward to discussing movies with you. Like I said, right now I am probably a third of the way editing my review for the Chronicles of Narnia, the Silverchair book. So hopefully I'll have that out for you this week. I don't know which day yet, but hopefully this week I will have that out to you. I'd love your thoughts on that as I drop that. That's going to be a longer video, so more time to dig in deep and have good conversation. And so keep on giving me requests of stuff you want to watch or want me to watch and review during this quarantine time. I have so many great requests that it's actually hard to keep track of it, which I find to be the greatest compliment ever, that so many of you are invested enough to do that, that it's hard to keep track of it. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of this. God bless you all and have a fantastic day.